Last warning. Updated US highway rules are taking effect across various states this year. Avoid unexpected fines in 2026. You are driving down the highway right now, cruise control on, radio playing, confident in your clean driving record. Somewhere ahead, without dramatic warning, there could be a rule in effect that turns a routine errand into a ticket you did not anticipate. The concerning part is not that these rules exist. The concerning part is that many drivers are unaware of recent changes already active in their state. That is the real story behind the online panic about new highway rules starting tomorrow. So before believing alarming headlines, let's calmly review what is accurate, what is exaggerated, and what you actually need to know before your next drive. Today, we are taking a different kind of trip. Think of it as a road trip through changing highway rules in 2026. Mile marker by mile marker. This is not one single federal rule flipping on overnight. It is a series of state-level updates rolling out at different times throughout the year. Picture preparing for a drive to visit family a few states away. You have made the trip many times. You know the roads and the speed limits, or at least you believe you do. But here is something many drivers are not clearly told. Traffic laws evolve. In 2026, several states have updated enforcement policies more than in recent years. Mile marker 1. Expanded hands-free phone laws. For years, many states prohibited texting while driving, but allowed certain grey areas like briefly holding a phone at a red light. That grey area is narrowing. In several states, including Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, officers may issue citations for holding or using a phone while driving, even if stopped at a traffic signal. In states like California, distracted driving definitions have broadened, meaning handling a phone for navigation without proper mounting could lead to a citation. This connects directly to insurance costs. A distracted driving ticket in many states can increase premiums significantly, sometimes for multiple years. For drivers on fixed incomes, that increase can meaningfully affect monthly expenses. If your phone is not fully hands-free with proper voice controls or mounting, it may be time to reassess. Mile marker 2. Expanded move-over laws. Traditionally, drivers were required to slow down or change lanes for emergency vehicles with flashing lights. In states such as California and others, protections have expanded to include tow trucks, maintenance vehicles, and in some cases, any vehicle displaying hazard or amber lights on the shoulder. That means when you see flashing lights ahead, you may be legally required to slow down or move over if safe to do so. Mile marker 3. Left lane usage rules. Some states are increasing enforcement against drivers who remain in the left lane without actively passing. For example, certain states have clarified that the left lane is primarily for passing, and officers may cite drivers who remain there without a clear purpose. Fines vary by state. If you tend to drive steadily in the left lane without overtaking another vehicle, it may be wise to move right when possible. Now let's clarify something important. There is no single nationwide federal traffic law overhaul happening overnight. Road design standards are federally guided, but traffic enforcement laws are primarily determined by states and sometimes municipalities. That means the exact rules depend on where you are driving. Some changes took effect earlier this year, while others are scheduled later in 2026. Mile marker 4. Expanded automated enforcement. Speed cameras and red light cameras are being used more widely in some states and local jurisdictions. In certain areas, violations may be recorded without an officer present, and citations can be mailed afterward. This is especially common in designated school zones and high-traffic corridors where local authorities have received expanded authority. Mile marker 5. School zone adjustments. Several states and municipalities have extended enforcement hours or reduced default speed limits near schools. Do not assume school zone rules only apply during traditional drop-off or pick-up windows. Always check posted signage carefully. Mile marker 6. Stricter consequences for serious violations. Some states have extended ignition interlock requirements or probation periods related to DUI offences. These changes apply specifically to qualifying violations and reflect efforts to strengthen road safety enforcement. Mile marker 7. Updated point systems. In certain states, fewer violations may now trigger licence consequences such as suspension or mandatory driving courses. While this increases accountability for repeat violations, it also means minor infractions can accumulate points more quickly than in previous years. Mile marker 8. Real ID enforcement remains in place for domestic air travel. A Real ID compliant driver's licence or acceptable alternative identification is required for boarding domestic flights. If you plan to travel by air, confirm that your identification meets federal requirements well before your trip. Mile marker 9. Relief programs in some states. A few states have introduced limited programs aimed at helping lower-income drivers resolve certain unpaid parking or administrative fines to prevent cascading penalties. Availability and eligibility vary by state. So what is the overall picture? There is no dramatic nationwide switch being flipped tomorrow. Instead, multiple state-level updates are occurring throughout 2026. The practical takeaway is this. The rules that apply to you depend on your specific state and any states you travel through. Here are practical steps you can take this week. First, visit your state's official DMV or Transportation Department website and review 2026 traffic law updates. Second, if you regularly drive across state lines, check the traffic laws in those states as well. Third, ensure your phone setup in your vehicle is truly hands-free and compliant with local laws. Fourth, confirm that your driver's license meets Real ID requirements if you plan to fly. Fifth, pay close attention to school zone signage and posted speed limits, especially in areas with camera enforcement. Driving represents independence and mobility. Understanding updated traffic rules is not about creating fear. It is about staying informed so you can avoid preventable fines and keep your record clean. If this overview helped clarify current highway rule updates, consider sharing it with friends or family members who drive frequently, especially those planning interstate travel this year. Staying informed is one of the simplest ways to protect both your finances and your driving privileges in 2026.